You saw the game and you saw the highlights, but how exactly Ergin Ataman outplayed Chus Mateo and led Panathinaikos to their 7th title? In this video, I will break down the tactical moves, the main and unexpected heroes for the Greens, as I go over every quarter of this legendary final.
Point, flipping the turbo switch.
Okay, so the first quarter was pure dominance from the Spanish side. Once again, they looked like an NBA team on EuroLeague floor as PAO conceded the most points in any of this season's games. But opposite from Madrid's semifinal game against Olympiacos, PAO stayed close with their offense, and that proved to be crucial in this match. This 6-possession run is a great example. So we all know pick and roll is Madrid's main weapon. Here, Campazzo's hesitation gets Lazor frozen and the Argentinian lays it in. But on the other side, there is an immediate response. Facu goes under on the first pick, it allows Grant to get inside, he drops it off in a good position to Lazor, and you know he's mobile enough around the basket. The next screen and roll is played by Musa, and since he's more dangerous than Facu from deep, Lazor is higher this time. 2 people on the Bosnian, he gets rid of the ball, and watch PAO commit a defensive mistake. Grant points to Mitoglu to help inside, but he's late, and it's a dunk for Madrid. But not even 10 seconds pass by, and Kendrick Nunn has his first say in this final. Consider that he has missed 3 open threes until this point, yet the confidence is over the roof as he pulls up for this shot with Poirier all over him. But Madrid pushes the same button. Again, Musa sees 2 on him, short roll for Poirier, but of course, PAO's defense is on point this time. Grant tags him, leaving Campazzo, and it seems like Madrid is playing on steroids in the first. On defense, it finally looks like PAO are in trouble. And I don't care if this is a cliche saying, but simply PAO were the hungrier team on the court on Sunday. Just look at this example. Papa Petru cuts to have a chance at the rebound and gets awarded as nobody boxes the forward out. And just like that, despite allowing 36 points, Panathinaikos were not down by 20 after the first quarter. Their offense kept them close when Madrid delivered their best punch. And it wasn't any fluke. Ergin Ataman knew the weak spots and targeted them. Here's a fantastic set to punish Yabusele's terrible off-ball defense. Point action for Suliauskas to receive the ball, and while everyone in the arena thinks the point guard will play the pick and roll, Juancho face cuts surprising Yabusele and dunks all over the Frenchman.
Got to be careful that this one doesn't disappear into the distance.
Also, Matthias Lazord was cooking. He scored 9 points in this quarter, finding his way around the basket every time his teammates found him. Opposite to Real Madrid and Tavares, PAO players were actually looking for their big guy even early in the shot clock. Lazor turned on beast mode and collected point after point from the paint. Defensively, let me shout out Jerry and Grant. It wasn't only him, but just watch guard harassing Chacho Rodriguez, avoiding every screen and staying close, forcing Madrid to feel uncomfortable. Possession ends in a forced attempt, and later he does the same with Canan Musa. I mean, just watch this stunt and closeout defense against one of the best players in Europe. And just like that, after allowing Real Madrid 54 points in the first half, PAO kept them to 7 in the third quarter, which proved to be a key turning point in this final. But first, it was Kostas Sloukas cutting the lead. Real forced him to his weak hand, but he masterfully manipulates the angles of the pick a couple of times until he gets Campazzo to get stuck. Tavares is in the drop, leaving this shot open, and it was that kind of night for the legend.
The opening possession belongs to Panathinaikos, the man who closed the first half.
A bit later, Nunn is back even with 3 fouls. He drives in and Real switch since it's the similar size guys Yabusele and Tavares guarding it. Hazonia gets a deflection, but there is the always fighting Grant to save it. As this chaos is happening, Nunn relocates and Tavares loses sight of him since he's not comfortable guarding smaller guys and his instincts are to protect the paint. Nunn swishes it and the Uber Arena is going nuts since it's the first lead for Pana all night long. After this, Real Madrid start feeling pressure, and I think this is where they lost the game. Offensively, after a wonderful first half, they simply fell in love too much with the long ball. After attempting only 6 in the first quarter, they tried 30 times and made only 7 in the next 3. At the same time, they attempted only 18 twos. And in this possession, Papapetru is ready to tag Tavares after the pick. Campazzo sees it, but Hezonja bricks. Later, it was Musa in the transition trying to cash out, but also not able to deliver. Lazor was always pretty high up in the pick and roll, so others had to help. Watch Grant here going to tag the big guy, and Musa firing another one only to miss it again. Now on the other side, it's another great defensive possession from Ataman's squad. Campazzo Tavares pick and roll, Lazor is in flat, so the weak side has to be packing the paint. Nunn is so far away from his own man, so Hezonja tries to punish it by cutting inside, but Lazor's active hands gets a touch, and he later also contests a layup. Really similar situation a couple possessions later. Again, it's Madrid's pick and roll with 2 guys on the weak side. Ataman's tactic was to never allow leaving Tavares open on the roll, forcing the pass outside rather than inside. Musa collects it, but look how quick the Greek players are to close out the shooters. Nunn is right there in the grill of Hezonja, who again shoots instead of driving closer for a higher percentage shot, and the game is slowly going away from Madrid. Then Chacho tries to change the inertia as Vildoza goes under twice, but the ball doesn't even touch the rim.
Dan Panathinaikos, another shot attempt, and all of a sudden...
And I'm thinking to myself, well, if the veterans are missing this bad, Real Madrid is definitely in trouble. Madrid missed all 11 threes in the third quarter and looked like the Houston Rockets in that famous elimination game against Golden State, where they missed like 20 threes in a row. The thing is that PAO defense didn't really allow different looks, and some of these were great ones, but the Spaniards also made mistakes. And these two were the most obvious ones. Tavares has Grant next to him after a switch. Chacho points to him to go near the rim and passes to Hezonja, hoping he has a better angle and can pass the ball inside. But instead of doing so, Mario just drives in, ignoring the mismatch, and the drought continues. Crazy fact, Madrid scored only 2 points in almost 7 minutes in the third quarter, and the last play of the quarter was another example. It's a Spain pick and roll, Madrid get a switch, Tavares again has a smaller guy on him, but Yui decides to take matters into his own hands, and that's a way tougher shot than Tavares could have gotten. It's time for a classic Kalaitzakis fourth quarter hustle play, isn't it? You can't really underestimate how this guy was actually crucial in Panathinaikos' title run. Game 5 versus Maccabi, semi-final, and now the final against Real Madrid. Nunn rejects the pick, tries a floater, and Kalaitzakis just sprints to put himself in the right spot at the right time. He tips the ball to Nunn, and the second time he doesn't miss. Then another huge moment in the game happened. Lazor picks up his 4th early in the quarter, and Ataman must sub him out. The Turkish coach decides to put Mitoglu at the 5, and at that time I'm immediately thinking either Tavares is going to get a couple of points, or Dinos is going to expose him with the pick and pops. You know which happens next. And I love how Grant organizes this. He asks Mitoglu to set the screen towards the side so Dinos has more space to pop out. Tavares is in drop, obviously, and the Greeks' lead is ballooning to 6. Madrid misses another solid shot, and Ataman pushes the same button again. Another pick and pop to exploit Tavares, but this time is a late switch. Grant has to create by himself, and it's cash money records by one of the best defensive players of the year.
Jaron Grant from the top of the key drills the long-range two-pointers.
Seeing the game actually falling out of hand, Chus Mateo tries one last weapon, the 2-3 zone that helped Real Madrid to beat Olympiacos last year in Kaunas. And at first, I'm not going to lie, I thought Madrid's coach might be onto something. Grant had a tough miss, but more importantly, PAO players seemed lost, not knowing what to do really, as Grant had to improvise and missed another tough shot. Bad miss led to a transition opportunity, and an open shot was converted by Yui. Of course, down 2 2, Madrid are staying in the zone. It's the third possession of it, but Ataman's squad still seems without a real idea of what to play. But sometimes it is more important to have players with a killer mindset rather than a well-executed play. Suliauskas casually pulls up way behind the line over Campazzo without any real rhythm on this shot and just swishes it. To be honest, I thought this was the biggest and the most important shot of the night because it killed the whole Madrid's momentum. Despite it, Madrid kept staying in the zone for a little bit longer. However, this is where Mateo's bet lost the lottery. Suliauskas gets another screen and Musa knows he's pulling up. Watch him point out for Tavares to go higher, but the big man is in a drop in this 2-free zone setting, as Kostas Suliauskas becomes a EuroLeague legend right here. What a champion and a clutch shot maker he is. And don't get me even started on if he's worth 3 million. He's a winner, period. Props to Real Madrid for fighting until the end, but there was another guy on that PAO team. After dealing with foul trouble early, Kendrick Nunn was huge in the fourth too. And this is where he exposed Madrid's veterans. And their defense, of course. The same guys who for so long seemed unbeatable. Suliauskas knows Kendrick is hot, so he makes sure the American gets the ball, and again, King Kendrick beats Yui like he is a walking zombie, and then scoops the layup up and over Walter Tavares. Madrid's ship is sinking in full force now with Campazzo picking up his 5th foul, and on the sideline out-of-bounds play, they look to be staying in that same zone defense, but watch how loose it is. PAO just passed the ball around with random double teams happening, and Dinos Mitoglou sends the green fans into a complete frenzy.
3 points up bucket, and that could well be the ball game. Facundo Campazzo absolutely livid on the sideline.
That's it, guys. Congratulations once again for Panathinaikos on winning the title, and I want to hear your opinions about the game. As always, let's discuss it in the comment section down below. Don't forget to drop a like, and I'll see you in the next one.